Welcome to Sean's Magic Cardboard. Today I'm going to be looking at set 4 of Lorcana trading card game, which is Ursula's Return, which releases in only a few hours' time. Up until this point, I've tried to stay away from as much information about this set as possible. To a certain extent, I have been making shorts on some of the cards that can be expected. I do like going into a new set, no idea of what's going on, completely fresh. When you open the card, you get a genuine surprise as to what card you're going to get. For the past 3 sets of Lorcana, I've stuck with the colours of red and purple for my decks, mostly because purple is my favourite colour and I also like the idea of control decks. So I'm going to continue doing that into Ursula's Return, stick with red and purple, and today I'm going to have a look at what I believe could be considered Bounce 3.0. So before we get started, let's just go have a look at this thing. It's got default name at the moment. We have, one of the new cards here is a Pegasus. 2 ink to play, it is inkable, and it is a 3-1, 3 attack, 1 defense. These are Pokemon terms that I'm using, this isn't the actual Lorcana terms. It is evasive, which is great, and it'll help just get rid of things like Minnie Mouses, any evasive characters which for the past couple of sets have caused issues. All of a sudden there's a counter to them. Teeth and Ambitions, which has been a regular throughout my deck for the past few sets now. Tuk Tuk's another new card. This is also evasive. And when you play this character, you can move him to a location and another one of your characters for free. Another character also gets a +2 attack this turn, which is a very, very cool card. This will be a little bit experimental. Be King Undisputed. Each opponent chooses and banishes one of their own characters, another way to hopefully get rid of some of those ward characters. Goofy has Rush, and whenever he challenges, will gain his 2 lore. Maui is only at 3, which I'm surprised at. I thought that was at 5. I thought we had 4 copies in this deck. We have Lady Tremaine at 2, Milan at 2, Be Prepared at 4. People are starting to really drop off Be Prepared now. For me, it's still the ultimate board removal card. Doesn't do anything for locations, but it sure clears up the field, which is great. We have a couple of these 1-drop locations, which are brand new from this set. Olaf stays, Rafika stays. A lot of these just similar cards now from previous attempts at this deck. Queen's Castle is at 3 copies, and also the brand new Ursula at 2 as well. Sean's Magic 1, this could be the very first game that we played with this. As you can see, there's been no games played so far. So if we go to play, it's going to have to be the lab. So the lab at the moment in Pixelborn, if you're not familiar, allows players to try decks that are normally not competitive. Just trying your combinations, and if they have an idea for a deck, they can come on here and give it a shot. Usually against players that are doing a similar thing. We have a mirror match as the very first game, which is great. This could be a long game, but we'll see how it goes. And we have a 1-drop. We don't have much more than that, so we will try and see if we can get, hopefully another 1 or 2 would be nice. We have some draw, which is nice. So we do get the 2, we get the Pinocchio. We will greet our opponents. Greetings, opponents. Let's ink Maui. And set 4 of Lorcana is underway. Straight away, this is the idea, particularly in mirror match. You just want to get these locations down. All of a sudden, the opponent's like, okay, we're going to have to do something here. Probably play a Rafiki, which would be able to do 3 damage to it. And Olaf. Okay, so not much can be damaged with Olaf at the moment, or not much damage can be done with Olaf at the moment. We can actually have a character here, again 1 more. Cool, so that's probably the play now. I don't like inking Goofy, because I feel like, let's link the teeth actually. Let's do that. I think that's the play. So we ink the teeth, play Olaf, move him to the location, and turn 2, realistically, only about 3 damage can be done. 4 damage potentially can be done to this location. So location's safe for now. We're going to get a lure off of that. And also next turn we can hopefully hit something with Goofy as well, gain a couple more. So already you're kind of seeing, particularly in this mirror match, the mistake there by the opponent had the opportunity to actually quest with Olaf, gain the 1 lore before doing the switch. Nevertheless, we are where we are. I've gained 1 lore from a location, which is great. We can... So we're in a bit of a pickle at the moment. I would like to keep a hold of Goofy, because this is going to be another new character which will allow us to take out the Madam Mim. Next turn you can actually take out the location if they have the fox in hand. You can do 3 damage from this snake, and then do another 3 damage from the fox. So it would be nice to be able to get rid of this just now, and then allow us to sort of control the board. At the moment this is probably gone next turn. As a result, I'm actually going to ink. You know what? I'll get rid of Goofy. I think it's the play. I would like to have kept a hold of Goofy. Unfortunately, for now, particularly in the mirror match, cannot underestimate the card draw. The card draw is of utmost importance. Yeah, may as well quest with Olaf. They may well attempt to take it out here, but with the location in the background as well, it's going to cost 6. It's going to be a one or the other. They're not going to be able to take both in one turn. So straight away, these one-cost location cards, I feel like it just kind of expedite this process a little bit. Again, another mistake by the opponent. They could have done 3 damage to our location, could have bounced back the snake, and then done another 4 damage, which would have taken it out. They're not doing anything at the moment, they're just sitting pretty. Maybe this is actually part of their strategy, is just to kind of wait this out at the moment and not rush into anything. If so, fair enough. They're just being very patient with it, which is okay for us. So, we can play a Rafiki. We can bounce Maleficent. And I think that's pretty much us for this turn. So going fairly smoothly at the moment. Card draw, again, is going to be of utmost importance. These mirror matches are not quick battles. However, I'm kind of hoping some of these newer cards will allow to expedite this process and really start ramping up a little bit. 3 lower in 4 turns isn't too bad. It's okay. It's pretty decent. But okay, so they're going for draw just now. But we do obviously just want to make sure that we do our best to keep the tempo up and keep the game ticking along. 4 damage comes on location, so that'll probably be taken out next turn. We are going to get rid of this. Ooh, friends, that's nice. We'll get rid of the rabbit this turn, I believe. We don't want them bouncing too much, particularly in this match with the card draw being as good as it is. Yeah. So we're just going to trade away here. So they will get their cards, which is fine for us. That's okay. We will trade again. Obviously, we still got our location in the field, which is nice. So that's still gaining his lore. We're going to go up to 5 as well here. At this point, I will have to ink something to play a Maleficent. And it is probably actually going to be the Fox, which is disappointing. Unless we ink the Fox. I think that's maybe the play, actually. We lose the card from Maleficent. We bounce the Pinocchio. And then that just gives us a little bit more control. At the moment, the opponent is very much at a card advantage. They're sitting with about 7, 8 cards in their hand. We have 3. We can't draw off of friends on the other side. They're going to ink one, probably play a couple as well, which will bring them down. But they are a little bit of a card advantage. They've got the goat in the field, so they will get their lore for that. We've also got an Olaf, and that'll be their turn. So we're going to gain off of the location, and keeping that Pinocchio has actually worked out quite well for us because it allows us to get rid of their goat at the sacrifice of our Madam Mim. Fair trade. It means they can't bounce the goat, and yeah, it'll keep our location alive for a little bit longer. We can also draw a couple of cards here, which is nice. So we'll get new Ursula. I will ink Merlin Goat. And yeah, I think we're doing okay at the moment. It's a very interesting right now, seeing how this works out. This is only one matchup. This is a mirror matchup, which tend to be very, very long games. Opponent has control over it, can get rid of. They'll get rid of Pinocchio in this instance. They probably had enough of us bouncing off of it a few times now. We're using it multiple times. They're actually getting rid of Olaf to stop the lore gain. Okay, a little bit surprised at that, to be honest. Olaf is going to quest. Gotcha. 2 options here. We can sit and draw cards. We could play the new Ursula, which whenever this character quests, exert chosen character, other characters can't exert to sing songs. Other characters can't exert to sing songs. I think we just... Yeah, I think we're starting to control the board a little bit. Let's continue that sort of chain of thought. We could potentially ink here to go up to the 7, which sets up pre-prepared. I'm not actually going to bother doing that right now, purely because I've got the rabbit. Next turn I can draw an extra card and then sacrifice one off into the ink. So the crab is going to give +3 to Medusa, which will then finally take out the location. We have seen a decent return from this location, so I'm actually real happy with what we've managed to get out of it so far. Another Merlin crab's going to come on the board. It's going to give another +3 to Medusa. Medusa can only attack one thing, so is it going to attack the mirror or the location? I would assume it's probably going to be the location. Yes, which makes perfect sense because then Maui has to attack Medusa, so technically it's a 2-for-1 for the opponent. So that was a good play by the opponent there. Unless we sink friends on the other side, at which point we were kind of making our opponent attack us instead, which I think would actually be quite nice. What we can also do is actually just get rid of the board wipe. Do the board wipe, and then our opponent's down to 3 cards. We've got friends on the other side in hand, and we're actually sitting pretty. I actually think at this point, that might be a good idea. So we'll do the board wipe. We're now essentially saying, are your 2 cards better than my 2 cards? So it is a little bit of a risky strategy. However, with a rabbit in hand and also our friends, I'm fairly confident I can draw any cards fairly soon. The opponent's got a Kuzco, so they're also going to attempt to do the same thing. Oh, they're going to put a snake on the board. Okay, so they're just going to try to create a little bit of a board at the moment. We've also got a Kuzco down, which is fine. We can get rid of one of those. Not much point of playing the Lady Tremaine just now, because if we do, we're essentially just giving them an extra card. We don't really want to do that. We want to be the one in control of when the opponent is drawing cards. We have to get 2 castles. Castle's going to come in pretty handy here, especially if we can start clearing the field down. If we can take out Kuzco, we can take out Madam Mim, we can get a castle down, then we're just creating lots of different avenues that the opponent really has to start looking at. We also know the opponent's hand now. They have Olaf Snake, they're going to bounce Kuzco, they're going to play the Kuzco again, probably quest with this snake. But realistically, we're in a really solid position at the moment. This is very, very good for us. Could draw off the rabbit, get a card from the rabbit. To be honest, I think I'd rather just quest, kind of force the opponent into doing our work for us. We've actually got this Goofy, which is really nice, so we can actually gain 2 off of the Goofy, which is maybe not a bad idea. We could also play the Queen's Castle at the moment. Realistically, I can get rid of it very easily, so there's not much purpose to that. You know what? Yeah, let's do this. We're really starting to just crank up now. Obviously, the opponent will gain a decent amount of lore here. I could play another card. I'm not actually going to. I'll just pass back to the opponent. Probably should do that. Nah, I couldn't. I just played that card. Crab as well. So the opponent's got a decent field on them. Unfortunately, they don't have any cards in hand. We have 3, which is nice for us. The vast majority of their field is about to get exerted. So the snake trades. They're going to give us a card with the rabbit as well. They're going to try to clear our field down, which in turn is actually going to help us by giving us more cards. Olaf will quest, and so will Kuzco. To be prepared right now would really not seal the deal, but it would really cause the opponent somewhat of turmoil. So I will get rid of the Kuzco, which is going to give the opponent 1 card. However, it does allow this Lady Tremaine that I'm about to play to become just a little bit more purposeful, because all of a sudden, instead of playing Lady Tremaine and the opponent choosing to banish Kuzco and drawing a card, all of a sudden they actually have to get rid of either Olaf, Medusa, or Crab. And the opponent is going to get rid of Olaf. Fine by me. Next up, we will ink an Olaf, which is fine. We're going to play this new card, the Pegasus, which is evasive. And also a Rafiki. Quite a bold... Well, yeah, slightly dangerous tactic here of putting so many cards down the field. 4 cards, board wipe. Could potentially causes problems, but at the same time, it would wipe out their ink for the turn. It would also give us a card off the rabbit. We also have the castle in hand, so there's still a couple of combinations that we could pull off with this. The opponent will take out our other rabbit, which will give us another card, which is fine for us. Great. So we'll get a snake, which now allows us to bounce Tremaine, and then we have another resource in terms of removal. Okay, another new card. So we have a Milan. When you play a character, when you've used shift, you get +3. We aren't shifting into this. During your turn, whenever this character deals damage to another character, and challenge, deal the same amount of damage to 2 other characters. So that's nice. If you can get a crab on it whilst you're doing damage, that's even better. So, Tremaine can take out crab. The +3 will be given to another character, probably someone near end, one would imagine. No benefit in them, giving us a +3. But they will, very kind of them. So, Pegasus can quest, it's also evasive, which is nice. We can then bounce Tremaine. We can then play Tremaine. Probably Rabbit is going to go here, allowing the opponent to draw a card as well, which is nice. Good for them. We will quest with Rafiki. Just put a little bit more pressure on now. We're up to a +5 potentially next turn. The crab can obviously take something out. The opponent has 3 cards in hand, so again, they're at a card advantage. But I think we're doing okay here. Opponent is just taking a few minutes to think things over. And they're going to play a Tremaine, at which point we get to choose what we get rid of. I'm actually going to get rid of the Rafiki because, let's be honest, they could take that out anyway. Whereas now they can't really take anything out, so they'll probably just have to quest with the crab. I think opponents realise that Pegasus is actually evasive. Another new card, Be King Undisputed. Each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Probably the crab, I would say. Would allow the opponent to bounce Lady Tremaine should they have a snake, potentially play it again. We are going to quest, going up to 16, 17. We're also going to put the castle down. I think this is where it becomes very, very difficult for the opponent. They have 2 choices. Do they focus on clearing the field up? Do they look to get rid of the castle? They could potentially do some damage to the castle, play a Be Prepared. They're not going to do that. Again, a little bit of a misplay by the opponent. Had the opportunity to quest there with Lady Tremaine before doing the bounce, which would have netted them another 2 lore. And at this point, I think the opponent could have done a little bit more there. Whether that was just a them sort of conceding sort of thing, then that's how the game goes. So yeah, a very good first game actually. I really enjoyed that. Mirror matchup. As soon as you see mirror matchup, you know for a fact it's not going to be a quick game. Like, this could really drag a little bit. That was not the case there. I really think if we go back into the cards, first of all, this Pegasus was nice. I think it will deal with a lot of stuff, not particularly in this game, but going forward it has the opportunity to. Tuk Tuk never came into play there, but it's something I would like to experiment with. Be King Undisputed, put the opponent in an awkward position, so that really helped. Gifu was really helpful there. The fact that it also has 4 defense means that it can take a hit from Snake and also stay in the field, as well as getting us a 2 lore, so that was great. Going down to 3 Maui didn't really affect us just there. Potentially because we had the Goofy, but again, that's something that we'll all just have to look at going forward. Tremaine is always doing the business. Milan, not sold in this at the moment, to be honest. I think it has its use. During your turn, whenever this character deals damage to another character, deal the same to another 2. I think that can be a very, very good card. The opportunity just didn't come up to really use it in that particular scenario. Next up, be prepared is what it is. The goat, one of the goats of this deck to me. Love this location, I really do. I just think that it puts pressure on straight away. Turn one, you can get this down, and it just puts a little bit of pressure on the board. Particularly in the mirror matchup, this deck really takes 2, 3, 4 turns to get going. So the removal starts to kick in until you get some characters down in the field. So getting this down turn one, like your opponent automatically gets taken off their game plan. So I think this is a fantastic card, and I'm really excited to kind of see how it goes going forward. And yeah, I'm really going to try to use this as much as I can. We've got an Olaf, we've got Rafiki, Madam Mim, Pinocchio, mostly standard sort of stuff that I've been using recently over the past over into the Inklings. Only difference is Ursula, which again didn't really get used in this matchup. Whenever it's character quest, exert chosen character. Other characters can't exert to sing songs. So I think that'll have its uses mostly against Steel Song decks, which, if it is exerted, will just completely, or when this character's in field, it'll just completely shut those down. So a very good card, situational card again, and it just has to be put in that situation for it to come into use. Overall, I really enjoyed that game. That's just one game against one opponent, and I don't think it really showcases, one, what this deck can do, and potentially how good this deck is or could be. I think it'll take a lot more matches and a lot more time and effort to kind of really work out what works, what doesn't work out with this thing. But straight away from a mirror match perspective, I do believe mirror matches are by nature a very, some would say, tedious game, a very long game, not a quick game. In my experience playing mirror matches, the vast majority of them have went either to time or close to time over the course of 1 or 2 games, which is about 45-50 minutes a game. Not quick at all. However, there are now all of a sudden some tools which could potentially speed this up, put a little bit of pressure on the board, and I think this will make a massive difference going forward. Overall, I'm really excited to see what this set brings and means for Ruby Amethyst, and it will take a little while and a little bit of trial and error to get to where we need to be. Is this the deck that you would be looking to try out? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what your thoughts are ahead of the release of Ursula's Return. Thanks for watching. This is Sean's Magic Cardboard. See you again next time.